and welcome to On Stage with King Midas and the Palace of Gold. I'm your host and theater mom, Erin Boni, and I'm here to introduce the very first show of the 2025 season at South Park Children's Theater, and it is a musical, King Midas and the Palace of Gold. Today I have several guests that I won't interview through this production, which will appear on the outdoor stage June 16th through the 25th. The outdoor stage at South Park is a unique and wonderful experience because family and friends can bring camping chairs and blankets to sit on the green. There are no bad seats. There's a concession stand for snacks and drinks available, and no show is longer than 90 minutes with an intermission. Also, prior to the show, my favorite part is the actors come out into the audience in character to interact with the patrons. So first up, I have our director and stage manager with me. So please welcome Amanda and Dylan. Thank you for being here.
Thank you
It's
for
awesome
having us.
you guys are here. So I guess first off, can you please tell me about the show? I know that South Park Children's Theater are never direct copies of either the stories or the fairy tales that they do. They're often a different and humorous take. So I guess maybe talk to me about, without giving away too much, how King Midas differs from the original story.
Do you want me to go?
You can
I'll
go first. You go ahead.
Yeah, I would say it's very similar to the original King Midas story, but there's a little mix in because there's these witches that come to visit, who are the ones that essentially had cast the spell of being able to touch gold.
Okay.
But of course, he's not to get away without punishment for his wrongdoings. So there's a big spin on it that isn't just in the story that we've all known growing up.
Yeah.
So I can't tell too much.
No.
But it's very good. It's very funny. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Very funny.
Absolutely. And tell me about, like, I guess, how music plays into it. What I find amazing is things that have never been musicals, and we're not even just talking about kids' stories, but, you know, they turn all kinds of things anymore into musicals that never even had any music to start with.
Yeah.
So how does one manage to do that, you know? I guess, like, how does it work out in the show?
Oh, well, the music is so much fun in the show. I think you can agree. I mean, and the kids, they just love it also. I mean, they dance and sing their little hearts out up there, and it's just so much fun to watch them do that.
That's awesome.
I think they like adding more to the story by doing that. Definitely more challenging for them and us.
No, absolutely. Yeah, and I was going to ask, too, preparing a musical is obviously different from a play, not just because of the music, but, you know, choreography and such as well. Amanda, do you tend to gravitate towards doing musicals? I feel like maybe the past couple summers you've gotten, you know, the musicals. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love plays and musicals. I think I like a challenge, and seeing kids that like challenges as well. Like every cast that I've had, I think this is my 7th show at South Park Theater.
Nice.
And just something about a musical, getting to work with other artistic directors, whether that be for choreography or the music director.
Right.
I just love working with them because then they add their own artistic aspect to it. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Nice.
And I know the one show you stage managed with Josie was not a musical. So talk to me about how the challenge changes from your backstage perspective.
Yeah, well, with the play, I think the kids, I mean, they really get into their characters a lot also because they're just focused on the lines. But with the musical, they also have to focus on singing and dancing, and they're adding that in also. And we also have to get them to, you know, act out their lines and not just say them on stage. Right. And so it is a little bit more challenging because they're focused on 3 things instead of just one, but I love the musical also. I think it's so much fun. I just love seeing them sing and dance on stage. It's so fun for me.
That's awesome. Oh, I love it. So talk to me, as you guys are both seasoned South Park Children's Theater, either, you know, helpers and or, you know, talk to me how the outdoor stage can enhance a musical.
I think it enhances the musical because it's so much more interactive with the kids that come to see it. As you mentioned before, they get to walk around before the show, but they also, you know, there are moments where they can go out into the audience throughout the show, or, you know, they start in the audience and, you know, it's kind of, people are looking everywhere. They don't just get to look on a stage, they get to look out. And they're like, they're also, I don't know how to describe it, but they're like with the kids that feel like they're in the story more, I feel like.
Break the fourth
if
wall.
that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right, with the singing.
It's a lot more fun.
Nice.
Singing, speaking, anything, we have them break the 4th wall so that the kids feel more included when they're watching.
A lot more,
oh,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Or they ask for audience participation, you know, in a sense, you know what I mean, or a reaction.
And I think kids need that in general to have fun in the show. Like if there's not a receptive audience,
right?
It's not
Absolutely.
fun.
Like you want. That's what you know. My daughter always says, like, you know, we want to hear people laugh. We want to hear people, you know, boo or cry, or not cry, but I mean, like, you know, cry out.
Yeah.
With certain things, react. Right. We want them to be be fully participating. And I think that, you know, too much in life, right, with, you know, with school and some other things, as much as we love school, to be interactive, and it can be, you know, for little kids, we want them to be, you know, to interact with the show as well. So that's awesome. All right, so please, I guess, in your best way, plug the show for us. Why should we come see King Midas and the Palace of Gold?
It's just really cute.
Our kids have worked so hard to really bring the story to life, and I think they need to share it with people now. They've worked so hard, and it's finally getting to a point where they're ready for an audience, I think, and they don't need us anymore. They can just do it for people.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Anytime I put on a show, I tell them it's your show as much as mine. Like, once the first day comes, nothing changes. It's all you, and I think we're already at that point. Like, they're starting to ad-lib and improv.
Yeah,
Right.
and they come
in
to
places.
us. They come to us with ideas also that you know, we didn't even think of before, and it's so fun to watch them in their little minds also think of things to put in the show.
And as a director, like, I don't want to limit that creativity either. It's like, if they want to add something, come talk to me. Worst comes to worst, I say no, but most of the time I say yes.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, their ideas are great.
I love it. Oh, well, thank you guys so much for being here
thanks
with
for
me
having
today.
us.
Thank you so much for having us.
So, thank you so much. And when we return, we're going to speak with 3 more actors from the King Midas musical. Hi, welcome back. I'm here with Lucy, Sam, and Gianna, 3 of the actors from King Midas show. Welcome, and thank you guys for being here.
Hi, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, so I'm going to start with Lucy and talk to each of you, but can you first tell me about your character in the show?
I'm Queen Helena. I'm King Midas's wife.
Nice.
I'm King Midas, and I'm Sam.
Awesome.
I'm the court advisor, and I'm Gianna.
Okay, very good. All right, so give me a little bit I go a little bit more in depth about your character, what your character is like. Are you, like, whether it's serious, comedic, goofy, like how you set everything up? So
I think my character is more of comic relief sometimes, but also large parts of the show are emotional for my character.
Okay, all right, because you get to, you know, assist with the gold issue. So obviously, Sam, as King Midas, you are the center of the show, and you're gifted with this wonderful everything turns to gold with your hand. So other than that, tell me though, does your character have, like, you know, an arc, or does some things change?
Yeah, I think it has a pretty big arc, because he starts as kind of like a childish character, and then he turns into even more of a childish character.
with the gold.
Yes,
things,
and then he gets like truly like sorrowful, and then he turns into like a wise king at the end, which is, I think it's really cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you kind of go through the range with everything there.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. John, as court advisor, is your job to keep everybody in line, or what?
Yeah, I acted like very serious around the king, but like when he's not around, it's like I'm a completely different person.
Nice.
And yeah, it's just fun to play.
So you
like
get to
that.
be kind of like that comic relief behind the scenes with everybody else. Okay. All right, we're setting it up. That's awesome. Tell me what's been most challenging about this show in particular.
I think it's what's finding out what my character wants to be driven by. Like, what's her motivation? What does she want to do?
Okay. And what is that? Can you share some of it with us?
I think she wants to make everyone happy and have everything be perfect and everything in order.
Okay. So, and that's always a tall order for a mom and a wife, right? Absolutely. Excellent. Sam?
I think that the hardest part with my character is trying to convey all of the different emotions throughout the show, because they're all very different.
Yeah.
And I feel like I need to like convey them all well.
Okay. Excellent. And being the lead carries, you know, or the two of you leading, a lot on your shoulders as well. Absolutely. Gianna, what is the most challenging part of your character?
Probably like having to express like different like personalities between like each person in the show, and how I have to like act different around like every like a different person. Like if there's one person on stage, like I act a certain way, and if they're off stage, then I act like different.
Okay. All right. So it's just that, like, who are you addressing yourself for?
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. So a little more personal. What has your experience with South Park Children's Theater been like?
South Park has been a lot of fun because I've gotten to meet a bunch of kids from different age groups and different schools, and it's a lot of fun knowing their experiences and hearing their stories.
Excellent. Sam, what about you?
This was my first year doing a South Park theater musical or play, so it was really nice getting to meet everyone, and everyone's just been so kind and nice. I truly couldn't ask for a better experience.
Excellent. Gianna, you've been involved for a while, I know.
Yeah. I've been involved since I was like 6 years old, and ever since then everyone's been so welcoming and so nice, and it's just been like a very positive environment for everyone on stage and off stage.
Excellent. I love that. And I guess tell me, if you have to plug the show with maybe a phrase or a sentence or two, tell me, why should we come see King Midas and the Palace of Gold?
I think it's really funny.
Yeah.
Like, all the lines and all of the songs and dances and everything. It's all really funny.
Good.
Yeah, I think it is just a lot of fun to see and be in, and it really teaches a really good lesson in the end.
Oh, very good. Which is not, we don't necessarily always get that, right? I mean, with some of the, some of the characters and things that we've seen. But yes, so an excellent lesson as well. And Gianna?
Yeah, like Lucy said, it's a very funny show, and it's like a great event for children and adults to go to. So it's like fun for all ages.
Excellent. Well, thank you guys for all being here with me today. I really appreciate you spending time to plug the show.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right, so when we return, we're going to have 3 more actors from the show telling you why you need to go see King Midas. Hi, welcome back to On Stage. I'm here now with Ella, Andrea, and Jackson. Thank you guys so much for being here with me today.
Thank you for having us.
It's an honor.
Absolutely. All right, so I'm going to start and go this direction, so we'll start with Ella. Please talk to me about your character, and what can you tell me about them without giving too much away about the show?
So my character's name is Princess Penelope, and she's the princess in the show. She's King Midas's daughter, and the whole show is centered around her birthday party. It's her, I think, her 16th birthday.
Okay.
And she's just, the way they write her, she's a very happy, and she's supposed to be very nice too. Everyone seems to enjoy her company.
Like her.
Yeah.
Very good. All right, love that, Penelope. Andrea, what about your character?
My character's name is Queen Alexandra. I came from the island of Crete to celebrate Princess Penelope's birthday because my son is going to be marrying Princess Penelope.
Okay.
And there's a gift that we brought that is quite magical.
Okay, without giving away too much, but there you go. Excellent. And Jackson?
Yes, yeah, I play Prince Ajax, as she said, the son of Queen Alexandra. And as the script says, I'm a likable lad.
Likeable lad. Oh, I love it. That's awesome. Very good. All right, so I assume that some of you guys have been involved with South Park Children's Theater for a different amount of years, different ranges. Talk to me about what you have liked or like so far about being a part of South Park Children's Theater.
I love it. This is, I think, my 6th show here, and it's just a really good community. Everyone's I haven't ever met anyone that's not a nice person, and everyone just loves doing it, and it's a bunch of kids who like to sing and act, which is just, it's really cool. I love it.
Yeah, awesome. Andrea?
I think this is also my 6th show here. I've been doing this since I was in 6th grade. And I just love, because this is a theater with, it's like outside of school, so it really brings together the kids that are really dedicated to theater to perform together. So I think that's what makes our show so good, because we have a lot of talented and just fun individuals to be around, from some 5-year-olds to 18-year-olds, and it's a really fun experience.
And all different school districts.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. All right, Jackson, you're our newbie. Tell me what your experience
my first
was like.
year.
Yeah.
And so far, first impressions are amazing. Everyone's fun. The production itself is creative.
Yeah.
And I'm having a blast.
That's wonderful. Well, welcome, because I think, that's one thing that I've enjoyed doing, or seeing through my daughter's eyes, is just that it's been a wonderful community. All right, that's great. Talk to me, and actually I'm going to start with Jackson and work backwards this time. Tell me what has been, well, I guess for you could tell me, have you been part of any musicals anywhere else before, and what do you find challenging about a musical versus a play?
So yeah, I was in one show before this.
Okay.
And the part that's hardest for me is just basic memorizing. Yeah. Not just of lines, but also personality. Oh, because sometimes I get all over the place for the character, maybe I want to do this or don't want to do this. But then I get it set in, and it's easy from there.
Very good. Awesome. Andrea?
This is going to be my 20th show that I've done in general.
Wow.
So I think I've done multiple plays and multiple musicals. So I think that with the musical, it's so much more challenging with learning the choreography and the blocking and just like knowing where you are on stage. I think that's definitely one of the most difficult parts, and the singing too, because I think the singing and the choreography transcends like the play and the fact that like a play you're just like saying lines, and I think this show is definitely more comedic, which I've done more like serious shows, so I definitely think having the comedy aspect of the show is definitely a lot more challenging.
Excellent. Yeah, because it's harder to make, you would think it'd be easier to make somebody laugh, but it's
Yeah,
almost
no,
harder.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What about you, Ella? What's challenging to you?
I think the fact that you have to be able to sing and project and dance and talk at the same time, especially with South Park, because we don't have like mics that go around your head.
On your
so,
right, yeah.
Right, or mics like these. They're
They're a
far
little
enough
further
away
out.
from you that the way you have to breathe to just say lines to project is difficult, and then doing it while you're singing, and then doing it while you're dancing. So you have to remember to do that to sound good, and then you have to remember where you are, and you remember your lines. So it's a lot, but I like it. I think it's fun having more to do.
That's wonderful. Oh, so awesome. I guess our last thing is going to be, tell us why we need to come see King Midas and the Palace of Gold.
It's definitely one of my favorite shows I've ever done.
Nice.
Not just because like it's a good show, the writing's good, it's hilarious, but everyone in the cast really wants to be there, and everyone is always having fun and enjoying themselves. And I've been in shows where that's just not the case, and there's a lot of, I've never been in a show where we get to add things that aren't in the script, and there's like little bits that we've added
That's
that
what
are
Amanda was
funny
mentioning
and
earlier, that she gave you the freedom to do that.
Well, and I think getting to do that with a specific cast, it adds to it because the cast has a specific sense of humor, and then you get to add that into the show. It makes it a lot more fun.
You can see
It's
the
almost
vibe between everybody.
It's almost a little more personal, I think, which really adds to it.
Wonderful. Andrea?
I think the show is like, it's super funny. It's hilarious. I mean, the songs are super catchy. They're super high energy, which isn't the case for like most musicals. We also have, you'll laugh, you'll cry during the show. I mean, you experience a range of emotions. And it's really fun. The cast is amazing for the show. I think, as Ella said, we all have fun with the show, and the freedom that we have to like create our characters from scratch basically is so fun.
Awesome. And Jackson, what about you?
Yeah, I agree with them. It's a funny and interesting, creative. It's like a different take on a original story that everyone knows.
Right.
And then makes it more funny than it actually is.
Right.
You never thought you'd laugh at a king.
No, certainly not. It's just supposed to be a lesson learned, right? But not necessarily, entertaining. And Sam had mentioned with his character that he goes through an arc of different things, so that's wonderful. Oh, awesome. Well, thank you all for being here with me today. I really appreciate it.
Of course.
Thank you for having us. It was an honor.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay. And to those of you in the audience, please come see King Midas and the Palace of Gold on the outdoor stage at South Park Children's Theater at the corner of Brownsville Road and Corrigan Drive from June 16th to the 25th. Now, how our shows run are Mondays at 6:30 p.m., Tuesdays at 10 a.m., and 6:30 and 10 a.m. on Wednesdays. Over the next 2 weeks, you'll have 8 chances to come and see the show. So come out, bring a chair, blanket, bring your kids, bring your friends, and enjoy the show. Until next time, thank you so much.